this week we are going to be talking about Christmas trees and presumably where the tradition came from, maybe where it's at today. I don't know. I haven't read the article yet, but since this video is going to be going up on Christmas Eve, if I have my dates right, I thought it would be nice to do something Christmas themed. The other one I considered was Santa Claus. I actually sent out a tweet asking which one you guys would like to see, but no one has responded yet, and so I need to make the video because I have to pack because I'm leaving to go to my parents' house, and I'm not going to be bringing my recording equipment with me, so I need to make sure I make the video so that, it'll be up for you guys. So I just picked which one I thought sounded more interesting, because I've heard less about the origins and such of the Christmas tree than I have about Santa Claus. But if you guys are interested in helping me pick topics for these videos, which I really hope that you are, because it can be really hard sometimes to pick topics, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because that is going to be a big spot that I will go to if I'm looking for an idea, or especially if I'm torn between two ideas like this. I'll go to Twitter and try and leave it to you guys. And as of right now, whoever decides to start responding to those is pretty much going to have complete control, because right now no one is responding. So anybody who responds will get to pick, and it'll be whatever you want. So feel free to take advantage of that. Helps me out a lot and gets you what you want to hear. So hopefully you guys are interested in doing that. Also, as you've probably noticed, there is no video for this video. You can't actually see me, and that's because I still haven't figured out how to attach the new microphone that I got to my camera. And so right now I also only have one stand that they both attach to the same one. So for now it's either good audio or video. So I thought, I don't really do anything in this video, so why bother having me be visible when instead I could get the better audio, and you don't have to stare at my mouth the whole time, which I think sounds like a great idea. So if you are really opposed to that and really want to watch me read, which is really just kind of watching my mouth move, because I don't have a physical book or anything, but if that's something that you really want, then let me know and we can probably make that happen. So let's get started. A Christmas tree is a decorated tree, usually an evergreen conifer such as a spruce, pine, or fir, associated with the celebration of Christmas. The custom of the Christmas tree developed in early modern Germany, where it is today called, Weihnachtsbaum or Christbaum or Tannenbaum, with the predecessors that can be traced to the 16th and possibly 15th century, in which devout Christians brought decorated trees into their homes. It acquired popularity beyond Germany during the second half of the 19th century, at first among the upper classes. The tree was traditionally covered with edibles such as apples, nuts, or other foods. In the 18th century, it began to be illuminated by candles, which were ultimately replaced by Christmas lights after the advent of electrification. Today, there are a wide variety traditional ornaments such as garland, tinsel, and candy canes. An angel or star might be placed atop of the tree to represent the angel Gabriel or the Star of Bethlehem from the Nativity. The Christmas tree has also been known as the Yule tree, especially in discussions of its folkloric origins. History. Possible predecessors. While it is clear, that the modern Christmas tree originated during the Renaissance of early modern Germany, there are a number of speculative theories as to its ultimate origin. Its 16th century origins are sometimes associated with Protestant Christian reformer Martin Luther, who is said to have first added lighted candles to an evergreen tree. It is frequently traced to the symbolism of trees in pre-Christian winter rites, in particular through the story of Donor's Oak and the popularized story of Saint Boniface and the conversion of the German pagans, in which Saint Boniface cuts down an oak tree that the German pagans worshipped and replaces it with an evergreen tree, telling them about how its triangular shape reminds humanity of the Trinity and how it points to heaven. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, this is like encyclopedia-ception, the use of evergreen trees, wreaths, and garlands to symbolize eternal life was a custom of the ancient Egyptians, Chinese, and Hebrews. Tree worship was common among the pagan Europeans and survived their conversion to Christianity in the Scandinavian customs of decorating the house and barn with evergreens at the new year to scare away the devil, and of setting up a tree for the birds during Christmas time. Alternatively, it is identified with the Tree of Paradise of medieval mystery plays that were given on the 24th of December, the commemoration and name day of Adam and Eve in various countries. In such plays, a tree decorated with apples to represent the forbidden fruit, and wafers to represent the Eucharist and redemption was used as a setting for the play. Like the Christmas crib, the paradise tree was later placed in homes. The apples were replaced by round objects such as shiny red balls. Georgia. The Georgians have their own traditional Christmas tree called chachaki, made from dried up hazelnut or walnut branches that are shaved to form a small coniferous tree. These pale-colored ornaments differ in height from 20 centimeters to 3 meters. Chachakas are most common in the Gyuri and Samogiro regions of Georgia near the Black Sea, but they can also be found in some stores around the capital of Tbilisi. Georgians believe that Chachashkili resembles the famous beard of the Saint Basil the Great, who is thought to visit people during Christmas, similar to the Santa Claus tradition. Wow. Poland. There was an old pagan custom of suspending at the ceiling a branch of a fir tree, spruce or pine, called Podlasnieska, associated with Kolenda. The branches were decorated with apples, nuts, cookies, colored paper, stars made of straw, ribbons, and colored wafers. Some people believed that the tree had magical powers that were linked with harvesting and success in the next year. In the late 18th and early 19th century, these traditions were almost completely replaced by the German custom of decorating the Christmas tree. I'd like to apologize as I have butchered so many words, but there are many more to come that are going to be butchered tonight, I can already tell. Though on the bright side, this article seems to discuss many countries so it will be butchering across the world, not just butchering for one region, so that's always nice. Make everybody aware of how poor my pronunciation is. Scandinavia. In Norse mythology, the oak was sacred to the thunder god Thor. Thor's oak was a sacred tree of the Germanic Chatai tribe. According to legend, the Christianization of the heathen tribes by St. Boniface was marked by the oaks being replaced by the fir, whose triangular shape symbolizes the Trinity as a sacred tree. Estonia and Latvia. Customs of erecting decorated trees in wintertime can be traced to Christmas celebrations in Renaissance-era guilds in northern Germany and Livonia. The first evidence of decorated trees associated with Christmas Day are trees in guild halls decorated with sweets to be enjoyed by the apprentices and children. In Livonia, present-day Latvia and Estonia, in 1441, 1442, 1510, and 1514, the Brotherhood of Blackbeards, or Blackheads, erected a tree for the holidays in their guild houses in Riga and Reval, now Tallinn. On the last night of the celebrations leading up to the holidays, the tree was taken to the town hall square, where the members of the Brotherhood danced around it. A Bremen Guild Chronicle of 1570 reports that a small tree decorated with apples, nuts, dates, pretzels, and paper flowers was erected in the guild house for the benefit of the guild members' children, who collected the dainties on Christmas Day. In 1584, the pastor and chronicler Balthazar Rousseau, in his Chronicle de Province La Vendette, wrote of an established tradition of setting up a decorated spruce at the market square, where the young men went with a flock of maidens and women, first sang and danced there, and then set the tree aflame. Why did they set it aflame? After the Protestant Reformation, such trees are seen in the houses of upper-class Protestant families as a counterpart to the Catholic Christmas cribs. This transition from the guild hall to the bourgeoisie family homes in the Protestant parts of Germany ultimately gives rise to the modern tradition as it developed in the 18th and 19th century. 18th to early 20th centuries. Germany. By the early 18th century, the custom had become common in towns of the Upper Rhineland, but it had not yet spread to rural areas. Wax candles, expensive items at the time, are found in the attestations from the late 18th century. Along the Lower Rhine, an area of Roman Catholic majority, the Christmas tree was largely regarded as a Protestant custom. As a result, it remained confined to the Upper Rhineland for a relatively long period of time. The custom did eventually gain wider acceptance beginning around 1815 by way of Prussian officials who emigrated there following the Congress of Vienna. In the 19th century, the Christmas tree was taken to be an expression of German culture and of especially among emigrants overseas. A decisive factor in winning general popularity was the German army's decision to place Christmas trees in its barracks and military hospitals during the Franco-Prussian War. Only at the start of the 20th century did Christmas trees appear inside churches, this time in a new brightly lit form. Adoption by European nobility. In the early 19th century, the custom became popular among the nobility and spread to royal courts as far as Russia. Princess Nerida of Nassau-Weilburg introduced the Christmas tree to Vienna in 1816, and the custom spread across Austria in the following years. In France, by the Duchess d'Orleans. In Denmark, a Danish newspaper claims that the first attested Christmas tree was lit in 1808 by Countess Wilhelm of Ostenburg. It was the aging countess who told the story of the first Danish Christmas tree to the Danish writer Hans Christian Andersen in 1865. He had published a fairy tale called The Fir Tree in 1844, recounting the fate of a fir tree being used as a Christmas tree. Britain. Although the tradition of decorating the home with evergreens was long established, the custom of decorating an entire small tree was unknown in Britain until some 2 centuries ago. At the time of the personal union with Hanover, George III's German-born wife, Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, introduced a Christmas tree at a party she gave for children in 1800. The custom did not at first spread much beyond the royal family. Queen Victoria, as a child, was familiar with it, and a tree was placed in her room every Christmas. In her journal for Christmas Eve 1832, the delighted 13-year-old princess wrote, "After dinner, we then went into the drawing room near the dining room. There were 2 large round tables on which were placed 2 trees hung with lights and sugar ornaments, all the presents being placed round the trees." After Victoria's marriage to the German cousin Prince Albert, by 1841 the custom became even more widespread, as wealthier middle-class families followed the fashion. In 1842, a newspaper advert for Christmas trees makes clear their smart cash, German origins, and association with children and gift-giving. An illustrated book, The Christmas Tree, describing their use and origins in detail, was on sale in December 1844. In 1847, Prince Albert wrote, "I must now seek in the children an echo of what Ernest, his brother, and I were in the old time, of what we felt and thought, and their delight in the Christmas trees is not less than ours used to be." A boost to the trend was given in 1848 when the Illustrated London News, in a report picked up by other papers, described the trees in Windsor Castle in detail and showed the main tree surrounded by the royal family on its cover. In fewer than 10 years, their use in better-off homes was widespread. By 1856, a northern provincial newspaper contained an advert alluding casually to them, as well as reporting the accidental death of a woman whose dress caught fire as she lit the tapers on a Christmas tree. They had not yet spread down the social scale, though, as a report from Berlin in 1858 contrasts the situation there, where every family has its own, with that of Britain, where Christmas trees were still the preserve of the wealthy or the romantic. Their use at public entertainments, charity bazaars, and in hospitals made them increasingly familiar, however, and in 1906 a charity was set up specifically to ensure that even poor children in London slums who had never seen a Christmas tree would enjoy one that year. Anti-German sentiment after World War I briefly reduced their popularity, but the effect was short-lived. By the mid-1920s, the use of Christmas trees had spread to all classes. In 1933, a restriction on the importation of foreign trees led to the rapid growth of a new industry, as growing of Christmas trees within Britain became commercially viable due to the size of demand. By 2013, the number of trees grown in Britain for the Christmas market was approximately 8 million, and their display in homes, shops, and public spaces, a normal part of the Christmas season. North America. The tradition was introduced to Canada in the winter of 1781 by Brunswick's stationed in the province of Quebec to garrison the colony against American attack. General Frederick Adolf Radziwill and his wife, the Baroness von Radziwill, had a Christmas party at the Sorel, delighting their guests with a fir tree decorated with candles and fruits. A woodcut of the British royal family with their Christmas tree at Windsor Castle, initially published in the Illustrated News, December 1848, was copied in the United States at Christmas 1850 in Cody's Lady's Book. Cody's copied it exactly, except for the removal of the Queen's tiara and Prince Albert's mustache to remake the engraving in an American scene. The republished Cody's image became the first widely circulated picture of a decorated evergreen Christmas tree in America. Art historian Carl on Marling called Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, shorn of their royal trappings, the first influential American Christmas tree. Folk culture historian Alfred Lewis Schumacher states, in all of America there was no more important medium in spreading the Christmas tree in the decade of 1850 to 1860 than Cody's Lady's Book. The image was reprinted in 1860, and by the 1870s putting up a Christmas tree had become common in America. Several cities in the United States with German connections lay claim to that country's first Christmas tree. Windsor Locks, Connecticut, claims that a Haitian soldier put up a Christmas tree in 1777 while imprisoned at Noden Reed's house, while the first Christmas tree in America is also claimed by Easton, Pennsylvania, where German settlers purportedly erected a Christmas tree in 1816. In his diary, Matthew Sam of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, recorded the use of a Christmas tree in 1821, leading Lancaster to also lay claim to the first Christmas tree in America. Other accounts credit Charles Fallon, a German immigrant to Boston, for being the first to introduce to America the custom of decorating a Christmas tree. August Immigrant, a German immigrant living in Wooster, Ohio, is the first to popularize the practice of decorating a tree with candy canes. In 1847, immigrant cut a blue spruce tree from woods outside town, had the Wooster village tinsmith construct a star, and placed the tree in his house, decorating it with paper ornaments and candy canes. German immigrant Charles Mingerode accepted a position as a professor of humanities at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, in 1842, where he taught Latin and Greek. Entering into the social life of the Virginia Tidewater, Mingerode introduced the German custom of decorating an evergreen tree at Christmas at the home of law professor St. George Tucker, thereby becoming another of many influences that promoted Americans to adopt the practice at about that time. The lyrics sung in the United States to the German tune O Tannenbaum begin, O Christmas tree, giving rise to the mistaken idea that the German word Tannenbaum, fir tree, means Christmas tree, the German word for which is instead Weihnachtsbaum, or something along those lines. When Johnson was vice president of the Edison Electric Company, a predecessor of Con Edison, he created the first known electrically illuminated Christmas tree at his home in New York City. In 1882, Edward H. Johnson became the father of electric Christmas tree lights. 1935 to present. In Russia, the Christmas tree was banned shortly after the October Revolution, but then reinstated as a New Year's spruce. In 1935, it became a fully secular icon of the New Year holiday. For example, the crowning star was regarded not as a symbol of Bethlehem's star, but as the Red Star. Decorations such as figurines of airplanes, bicycles, space rockets, cosmonauts, and characters This tradition persists after the fall of the USSR, with the New Year holiday outweighing the Christmas for a wide majority of Russian people. The TV special A Charlie Brown Christmas was influential on the pop culture surrounding the Christmas tree, 1965. Aluminum Christmas trees were popular during the early 1960s in the U.S. They were satirized in The Charlie Brown Show and came to be seen as symbolizing the commercialization of Christmas. The term Charlie Brown Christmas tree describes any poor-looking or malformed little tree. Also derives from the 1965 TV special based on the appearance of Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Public Christmas trees. Since the early 20th century, it has become common in many cities and towns and department stores to put up public Christmas trees outdoors, such as the Macy's Great Tree in Atlanta. Since 1948, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree in New York City, and the large Christmas tree at the Victoria Square in Adelaide. The use of fire retardant allows many indoor public areas to place real trees and be compliant with code. Licensed applicants of fire retardant solution spray the tree, tag the tree, and provide a certificate of inspection. Real trees are popular with high-end visual merchandising displays around the world. Leading global retailers like Apple often place real trees in their window displays. In 2009, Apple placed 2 Fraser fir for every store in the world. Those trees were supplied from North Pole Xmas trees in Nassau, New Hampshire, USA. In addition, using a real tree rather than a fake reflects a greater corporate responsibility to the environment. The United States National Christmas Tree has been lit each year since 1923 on the south lawn of the White House. Today, the lighting of the National Christmas Tree is part of what has become a major holiday event at the White House. President Jimmy Carter lit only the crowning star atop the tree in 1979 in honor of the Americans being held hostage in Iran. The same was true in 1980, except that the tree was fully lit for 417 seconds, 1 second for each day the hostages had been in captivity. During most of the 1970s and 1980s, the largest decorated Christmas tree in the world was put up every year on the property of the National Enquirer in Latana, Florida. This tradition grew into one of the most spectacular and celebrated events in the history of southern Florida, but was discontinued on the death of the paper's founder in the late 1980s. In some cities, a festival of trees is organized around the decoration and display of multiple trees at charity events. The giving of a Christmas trees has also often been associated with the end of hostilities. After the signing of the armistice in 1918, the city of Manchester sent a tree and £500 to buy chocolate and cakes for the children of the much bombarded town of Lille in northern France. In some cases, the trees represent special commemorative gifts, such as Trafalgar Square in London, where the city of Oslo, Norway, presents a tree to the people of London as a token of appreciation for the British support of Norwegian resistance during the Second World War. In Boston, where the tree is a gift from the province of Nova Scotia in thanks for rapid deployment of supplies and rescuers to the 1917 ammunition ship explosion that leveled the city of Halifax, and in Newcastle upon Tyne, where the main civic Christmas tree is an annual gift from the city of Bergen in thanks for the part played by the soldiers from Newcastle in liberating Bergen from Nazi occupation. Norway also annually gives a Christmas tree to Washington, D.C. as a symbol of friendship between Norway and the U.S. and an expression of gratitude from Norway for the help received from the U.S. or two. Okay, so that's gonna do it for tonight. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this article. Um, if you have, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. As always, there will be a link to the article in the description below, as well as links to my Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon page. Twitter, as I said before, you can help have a say in what the videos